Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Before I get started on this video, I wanted to tell you something I'm excited about. Tonight on HBO, The Righteous Gemstones is going to begin. Now this is the show. It's where Danny McBride and his family are. It's like a family full of preachers that you know, the big time preachers that do it on TV and all that. Like a Jimmy Swaggart type deal, but I think that from what I can tell from watching the trailer, they're about as crooked as they can be, and so it's kind of made for his character, his personality. I was a big fan of Eastbound and Down when he was Kenny Powers, and I thought that was hilarious. But this show, I have a feeling, is going to be really funny. I also loved Vice Principals. I don't know why they cut that short so quickly. They did like 2 seasons on HBO of that. But Danny McBride just makes me laugh. He's hilarious. So anyway, you might want to check that out tonight. My friends wanted me to go to Mexican. I said, that's fine if we go to a Mexican restaurant tonight, but as long as I can get back in time to watch The Righteous Gemstones, I'm in. So anyway, all right. Today we have the market kind of took off this morning. I rolled over this morning and I looked at my phone and it showed where the market was not just surging, but XRP was leading the way. Let me do a refresh here and see what we're looking at right now. We had about 275 billion in the market now, and it looks like XRP is up 6.26%. We have not seen anything like this for XRP in quite a while, but it is. This is always a good thing. Maybe we're about to come out of this little lull we've been in. I see that we're at 28 cents now, so we're getting on up. Where were we? At about 30 cents, and then it crashed down as low as like 25 cents. I think I bought a decent amount at 26 cents is where I got in the other morning. So that's good to watch it bump back on up. I believe, just as a side note, I believe that the time is coming where XRP, where we have a flip, and XRP is the digital asset that is really surging versus Bitcoin and all the others. And so you need to be ready for all of the FUD that's going to be, because every time XRP does that, the Bitcoin people get really, really scared, and they start to throw everything they have at trying to scare people out of XRP. Ultimately, they're going to lose that battle, but in the short run, at times they're pretty effective at trying to scare people, and I'll show you an example of that here in a second. Let's see if I've got it. Let's see if it's the next thing. I don't think it's not the next thing, but it's close. Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29 had sent me this, which I thought was good. This is from Rhythm Trader. Think $1 million per Bitcoin is crazy? That's because it is. What's even crazier though? Quantitative easing, negative interest rates, fractional reserve banking, elimination of cash, surveillance, capital controls, and inflation. Bitcoin isn't the virus, it's the antidote. I would say digital assets are the antidote, not necessarily Bitcoin, although I am a Bitcoin holder because I do think it's going to go crazy. Now this is the thing I wanted to show you. Now this is someone who is, they are presenting this in such a way as they're just trying to find out more. But if you really look at this the way it's written, what they're really doing is trying to deceive people, in my opinion. Been reading a lot about this suit against Ripple, so he's very concerned, but he's just wanting to find out the facts. The UK says it's a utility token, while the US is beginning to see it as a security. This part right here is just a complete fabrication. The U.S. is beginning to see it as a security. Says who? Where did you read that? I didn't read that anywhere. It says, what is your honest take on what XRP really is? Leave your emotions at the door when responding to this post. I deal with the facts, not the feelings. Well, when you say something that is completely not true like this, it tends to bring out people's emotions. But Willie Wonka XRP responded with what matters. These are facts. This was actually said by Hester Pierce. When the tokens are not being sold as investment contracts, they are not securities at all. Tokens sold for use in a functioning network rather than as investment contracts fall outside the definition of securities. There is no token in all of digital assets. There's no token that is sold for use in a functioning network as much as XRP. None. XRP has more of a functioning network than any digital asset out there. Commercially functioning network. Okay, next. This I got from the Joker. Now this is interesting, folks. If you look all around you, we are literally seeing the same types of things that we were seeing when the financial crisis happened back in 2008. Joker says, and he's at Kia Crypto. He's one of my favorite follows in all of Twitter in the XRP community. This guy's smart. He's out of Australia. Australia housing crisis. Families are losing mortgage battle. There is no way out. A big correction is coming to the highest inflated industry on the planet. Australia's economy is deepening in depending on houses than any. Australia's economy, is depending on houses more than any Western country. Sell your house while you can and buy crypto. I love that. Now he sent with this, there's a video. Anybody who is interested in this topic at all needs to watch this. Exposing Australia's housing crisis, 60 Minutes Australia. And this was put up just 3 days ago. But this is interesting. I'm partway through it, but they have a lot of experts that know about this. And especially if you own real estate in Australia or you live in Australia, you need to watch this. Again, it is 60 Minutes Australia is where you can find that on YouTube. Fascinating right there. Now, while things like this are happening, we're just seeing flashes of awful crisis coming all around the world. So look at this. I got this from I Am Legion at PAISAN 268-49860. Give definite follow in XRP community. Sent me this, and this right here, if you've never seen it, I've told you several times on this channel. If you've never seen, and I don't know if it's on Netflix. It used to be free on Netflix. It may not be now, but it's the documentary about Enron called "The Smartest Guys in the Room." Is one of my favorite financial documentaries ever. If you really want to see what can happen if a corporation, no matter how big, is left to its own devices and is able to get away with accounting tricks, wow, you won't even believe what you're watching when you watch that documentary. But this right here is beginning to look like something really creepy has been going on, folks. But here's what it is. GE brushing things under the rug, Deutsche Bank. Listen to this. It says, in an interview with CNBC on Thursday, Deutsche Bank analyst John Inch indicated that the Boston-based company has been brushing things under the rug and leveraging aggressive accounting for several decades. The GE bear suggested that prior management could have done this in order to boost adjusted earnings per share so as to profit themselves as much as possible. Let's see, it says the Deutsche Bank's Inch, it says the information they provided was one-sided. They made it overly complicated to dissect the financials. They compounded the complexity on purpose so people wouldn't look at the details, he stated. Now, unfortunately, they're paying a bit of a price for it. This right here, and remember just this week, this guy came out and said, it was the guy that uncovered Bernie Madoff, came out and said that they've been running a fraud for years. And now this article was from back in June. And so where there's smoke, there's fire, apparently. But that's going to get interesting. And in the midst of what I think is a financial crisis coming, you're going to see more and more things like this. Because as I told you the other day, it was a Warren Buffett quote, and it's about how you find out who's been swimming naked when the tide goes out. and it's a quote that's in reference to when the money's flowing easily in a good economy, people are able to perpetuate frauds. But when that tide goes out and all of a sudden the liquidity dries up, you find out who was really financially strong and who was just playing games, and that's what I think we're headed for. Okay, next from NBK Crypto sent me this. This is another thing. If you one thing that just is so crazy to me. I watch CNBC usually during the week. I watch it all week, and I'll mute it and then unmute it and watch different things. But the one thing that's amazing to me is this whole negative interest rate discussion, and all of these people act like that. You would think that they would be like, this is the worst case scenario to have negative interest rates, but all of them are programmed to just say whatever they're supposed to say. And so these guys are acting like, oh, well, it probably won't happen here, but if it does, they act like it's some kind of, oh, this is just some kind of normal. No, it's not normal. This doesn't happen. It's not supposed to happen, and it is weirdo finance is what it is. If you want a term for something, weirdo finance would be negative interest rates. But this was a tweet from this Count X, 12 reasons why negative rates will devastate the world. And I'm not going to go into the article, but I wanted to make sure you knew about it so you could go read it. If you want to see all the nasty things that will happen as a result of negative interest rates, it's a really thorough article, and it's on zerohedge.com if you want to go check that out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that negative interest rates will devastate the world. Thank you for listening.